I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're $35 trillion in debt. We don't have any money. We're dead broke. And then taxpayers have $2 trillion in credit card debt. We are in huge trouble. In this body, we had better start figuring that out, because we're going to have a run on this city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, where's our damn money that we paid in? I could have put my Social Security money for years in tax in the market and probably be worth 8 to 10 million today. But the federal government wasted it. So I'll get off my horse there. But it's good that we have this, because we got, I get a little pension check from education. I was part of a union. It's not going to help people. People are going to have to continue to work longer and longer. Am I right, Ms. Gender? Can you say something about Social Security and it being taxed for some reason? We're taxing people for the second time on Social Security that they put into an account.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out, when Social Security was first founded, those who established it was started out as a 2% tax, and they said this will never take more than 6% of your income. Today it takes 12.4%, and depending on whether you go with CBO or Social Security trustees, it needs to take between 15.8 and 17.5%.
Hey, Shalom. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutation, and blessings to the elect who firmly believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Now, as you can see, America is a scam. America is a scam. Your Social Security, what you work all your life for, you're going to end up with, we're approaching times to where you're not going to be able to even receive it, man. As you said, well over 150 million people, are going to be asking where's their money that they worked all of their life for, that they've been taxed. And let's say they do get their Social Security, is being taxed again. You know what I'm saying? That's a scam. That's wicked. That's evil deeds. But that's your so-called white man for you. Those are the Edomites. That's how they operate, to attempt to stay richer, to attempt to stay in power, and to keep, its citizens on a low level, financially, right? That's why they got a lot of these pandemics, being driven out, and it targets, the elderly, it targets the elderly to where they can't even get their Social Security because they're dead. They're dead and gone, right? And here it is. You see, the lie, they told you that they will never tax more than 6%, and now it's up to the point to where it's 12.4%. Now, I'm not sure how old that piece of content is, but it looks fairly old. But you can only imagine how much it may be at this particular point, from 12.4%. So that's why, it's imperative that we get into the scriptures and, the ideology and the mindset we ought to follow, which is the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? Let me actually, let me get Isaiah 30:1 first and foremost. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me. Because they'd rather take counsel of the government. They'd rather take counsel of what their president tells them, what the House of Representatives tells them, what their Senate tells them, what their mayor tells them, and not what the Lord is actually telling them by way of his prophets, right? It says, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. That walk to go down into Egypt have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves and the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. That's right. They trust in the shadow of Egypt. Modern day Egypt is America. They trust in the system, which is failing them completely. Here it is. Biden is sending billions and billions of dollars to Israel and Ukraine. They're getting in business and problems that's not theirs. They're dragging America into this third world war, Israel, that is, So, the people are strengthening themselves in the shadow of Egypt, man, and we're approaching a time to where the financial system's going to come to a complete disarray, to where everything is going digital, CBDC, and they got to cause a catastrophe, an event, to completely get rid of the dollar and introduce CBDC. Now, it could come in the form of a pandemic. It could come in the form of terrorist attack. It can come in the form of blackouts. You know, we don't know. We just got to wait and see. It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Alluding to that video, people are going to wonder where their money's at, even when it comes to Social Security, you know, or even if, let's say, you're going to get some Social Security, guess which way you got to get it, by way of a micro chip, by the microchip, the charagma, the MOTB, which is spoken on in Revelation 13 and 16. That's ultimately going to be your confusion once you trust in the system. This is why we're telling you here at Great Millstone, you have to unplug from this system, spiritually, mentally. Isaiah 31:1, it says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. That's right. Woe, death and destruction to you individuals who are going to go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. That's right. So death and destruction is going to fall upon you for that, man. And by the time you attempt to look to the Heavenly Father for help, guess what's going to happen? The Lord's going to ignore you. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to ignore you. The Lord's going to turn his back upon you, whether you know his name or not. If you wasn't serving the Lord in spirit and in truth while you had liberty, you know, while you had ample time, the Heavenly Father's going to turn his back on you. You know what I'm saying? So now the Lord's going to put the spirit upon you to take that chip, to take that micro C hit. That's just essentially what's going to happen. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. That's right. And that's what the Heavenly Father's going to do. You know, the Lord, Heavenly Father's not going to call back his words. The Lord said he's going to bring death and destruction to 2/3 of his people. The Lord said the America is going to be destroyed by way of thermonuclear fire. You know, the Lord's not turning back his words for you. You know, what the Lord said in, when we finish this, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. So anybody who has a hand in pushing the system forward, the Lord's bringing death and destruction unto you. Right? That's simply what's going to happen. That's essentially what is going to happen. Let's get Isaiah 55:11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. That's right. The Lord is not turning back his words, man. You know, everything that the Heavenly Father said, he's going to allow it to be accomplished. Everything's going to come to pass. Not one jot, not one tittle is going to be missing till all be fulfilled. You know? And here it is, the writing's on the wall, but Jake is still blind. Why? Because they're caught up in the day-to-day. They don't even have forward thinking. It says, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. And that's what the Heavenly Father got planned. That is what the Heavenly Father has planned. You know? And we here at Great Millstone, we've been teaching it for years, beginning with our apostles and elders. We've been teaching it for years, man. But you got people that still think the Lord is not coming in their lifetime, which is bonkers. It's bonkers, man. Ezekiel 12:25. It says, for I am Yahweh, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged. And you see the door shortening. The Lord is shortening the days. The Lord is shortening the days, man, for the elect's sake. Which is a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. These days are flying by. We're already in May. It felt like the so-called New Year's was yesterday. The Lord is upping in the times, man. There's really no more. It's really not 24 hours in a day, man. Or even if it is, the world just has the earth spinning at a more rapid rate. You know. It says, for I am Yahweh, I will speak, and the worship that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged, for in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word and will perform it, saith the Lord power. So the Lord's getting ready to perform, man. You know, the Lord is getting ready to perform, and we of the hopeful elect, we can't wait. We can't wait. We can't wait, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we sigh and cry for the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So we can see these times, so we can see these days, so we can see these times. No greater joy than for us to see the fall of our enemy. You know, that's one of the greatest rejoicings. Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 13, it says, "Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you." Watch. And that's what we're doing. We're watching for the prophecies. We're watching for the signs of the times that's at hand. You know, we're watching for the brotherhood, making sure they on point, staying on point. You know, every time we put up prayers, the Lord is shortening the days. Every time brothers do shows, the Lord is shortening the days. Every time brothers go out there in the highways and byways, the Lord is shortening the days. Every time the elect gets woken up, the Lord is shortening the days. This is beautiful, man. This is music. These are the times that we're living for. The prophets before us desired to see these times. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Okay, Matthew 13. It's Matthew chapter 13, verse 16. It says, "But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them." You know, so we got to count ourselves to be in a great position, because here it is, we're in the faith. You know what I'm saying? We got the spirit, we got the truth. You know what I'm saying? We're being diligent as possible. You know, we got to count ourselves, you know, grateful to be in this position. It's about but continuing to the end. You know, he that enduring to the end, the same shall be saved. So we got to keep our eyes on the prize. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be death and destruction to those individuals that think they were serving the Lord. And it's going to be found out that the Lord was never dealing with them in the first place. You know, America's a scam. America's finished. America presented false hope, false reality. And the 2/3 of our own people got caught up in Charlotte's Web, man. You know, so I'm going to leave it at that. Lord willing, this was edifying, you know, unto the elect. You know, I like to give, matter of fact, there's another precept that I want to give out. Let me see if I can find it. Man. Because it talks about that Social Security madness. It kind of harps into it. Right, Sirach chapter 11, verse 18. It says, "There is that waxeth rich by his weariness and pinching, and this is the portion of his reward." So here it is, when you got Social Security, you're pinching from your check and it's going into your Social Security, right? It says, "Whereas he saith, I have found rest, because now you have retired." It says, "And now will eat continually of my goods, and yet he knoweth not what time shall come upon him, and that he must leave those things to others and die." So ultimately, you're not going to be able to receive your Social Security. Why? Because first and foremost, America's in debt, as they broke down in that video. Or it might come a time to where you're in a whole nother pandemic, and whatever pandemic that is, whatever pestilence that is, that may take you out and you may never enjoy your Social Security. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a damned if you do, it's a damned if you don't. But that's what happens when the wicked bear rule, you know. Unrighteousness takes place, you know, and scamming is prevalent, you know. So with that, Lord willing, I've been edifying. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutation, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.